A lot of companies, it's cash flow is the issue. It's not the getting the customers and everything. And sometimes it happens when they expand and depending on the country, but some of them like they have like 30 days before you get paid. Others it can be 3 months or even more, and that can kill a company. But what I see a lot doing as well is they use the credit cards and they're just kind of maxing them out and they're using that and then they get to a level where so like what kind of advice would you give to small business owners that are kind of going through that?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. And you're absolutely right. There are challenges with certain business models in terms of their cash flow. So to your point, if you're doing like my first business in the airport space, that business has a really rough cash flow cycle because sometimes you're doing these big projects and the government entity says you like, hey, hurry up, do the design, start building the product, come put it at the airport. We'll pay you in 60 days or whatever, right? I mean, 60 days, 90 days. And so it's a very cash intensive business to do well with. And so sometimes it's just the nature of the industry. But what I would say is the very first thing is make sure you're profitable. So a lot of times a business owner who is not good with their numbers, they are not, really making sure that on a month-to-month basis, a quarter-by-quarter basis, that they are profitable. And so what happens is it's a different animal to finance cash flow versus financing losses, right? And so what I'm always passionate about telling people is I don't love financing cash flow. I don't love that at all. I don't recommend it as a long-term strategy, but there are short-term examples where it has to be done. But let's make sure we're profitable. In other words, let's make sure that by the time we get to the end of the financing and the money comes back home, that we actually get some to keep. And it's not just so that we can be rich as entrepreneurs, it's so that we actually have a stable, healthy business. And I think that's a little bit where, people can get off of that is you get so caught up in just thinking about the cash side, you're not focusing on the profit side. And so you're kind of building a bigger and bigger house of cards.